So let's fine tune 16.4, and 16.4 will basically go through some journal entries. Let's understand what we're doing. Okay, guys? Again, if I do it in class, what's the scoop about that? That information that we talk about in class could be on the exam. If we don't talk about it in class, is it going to be on the exam? No. Okay. Stock dividends, but I did tell you I was kind of interested in that, didn't I? Okay? Remember I told you cash dividends, stock dividends? What's that other word I told you about? You could have a multiple choice on that one, okay? Okay, so let's talk about 16.4. The shareholders' equity of Raven Company is shown. Common stock at $10 par, $250,000. Additional paid-in capital on common stock, $150,000. Retained earnings, $200,000, for a total of $600,000. Raven is considering the declaration and issuance of a stock dividend at a time when the market price is $30 per share. Assuming the board of directors recommends a 6% stock dividend, prepare the journal entry at the date of declaration. Then we'll do the journal entry at the date of issuance and the shareholder equity after the issuance. So what we're learning here is we've got $250,000 at how many dollars per par? 10 bucks a par. How many shares do we have? 25,000 shares, okay? So the first thing we need to do is the journal entry at the date of declaration. So this is going to be 16.4, okay? So the journal entry at the date of declaration. Retained earnings. Is it okay that I'm typing instead of writing on the board?
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't like my handwriting. Okay, retained earnings. How are we going to calculate this? The retained earnings are going to be 25,000 shares times 6% times 30 bucks. Okay? And what is that? $45,000. And then we're going to do a credit for common stock to be distributed of 15,000, additional paid in capital from stock dividend, 30,000. Okay, so how are we coming up with common stock to be distributed 15 and additional paid in capital from stock dividends of 30? If we go back to the problem, we've got 25,000 shares, a 6% stock dividend on 25,000 shares, 25,000 shares at a 6% stock dividend, and the 30 bucks is what the market price is right now, okay? So if the market price is 30 bucks a share, but what do we know the par value really is? $10 a share, right? So anything over the $10 a share is going to get put in additional paid in capital from stock dividend. Okie doke? Now, the next one that we're looking at is what is going to be the journal entry at the date of issuance. So the journal entry at the date of issuance is going to be stock.
I'm still confused by the 15, how we got the 15,000 and the 30,000.
Stock, common stock, okay. Comes to be distributed. Okay, so we've got 25,000 shares that we're issuing a 6% dividend on, and currently the market rate is at $30 a share. Okay? So if we take $45,000 and we divide that by $30 a share, how many shares is that? $15,000 shares, or 1,500 shares. But what is the par value? 10. Guys, it's really not tricky, but it can confuse you. Remember that the common stock at par value goes in one location, and then everything over that par value goes in additional paid-in capital. Am I confusing you? How many of you get that? Okay? Yes. Okay, you do. Guys, do you hear that I want you to ask me questions? I might not know the answer, but I'll find it out, okay? Hopefully I know most of them. If you know, they say like in a relationship, better to have more good times than bad times. Hopefully as a teacher here, I know the answer more than I don't. That's all you can bet on here, okay? Make sense though? That wasn't a good joke, was it? What'd you say? Oh, was it better than Kenny's? Poor guy. He's not here to defend himself. Okay, so common stock to be distributed is 15,000 shares. Okay, or excuse me, $15,000. And the next one here is going to be common stock 15. What are we doing here? Do you see in this initial journal entry when we declared it, how we reduced our retained earnings? Because that's what has to happen. You reduce your retained earnings when you declare a stock dividend, don't you? And we're showing common stock to be distributed and additional paid-in capital. We're showing it. But then what happens is when we're actually doing it, we're going to reverse that entry and show common stock being issued. Make sense? How many of you guys get that? How many of you would tell me if you didn't? Good. Yes, you would. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, dear.
So in that first entry, when you're crediting common stock to be distributed,
Yep.
would that technically be like a liability?
Yes, it's technically like a liability. Exactly. Because we're supposed to do it, but we haven't done it yet. Okay? Now, can I go on to C? Am I going too fast, too slow, just right? Okay. It's your job to tell me though, guys, okay? Doesn't bug me. Next, what is the shareholders' equity after the issuance? Okay, we know what it is before the issuance. You see all our shareholders' equity here? The common stock of 250,000, additional paid-in capital 150, retained earnings 200. What's it going to be afterwards? How are we going to figure this sucker out? Now we've got here common stock, $10 par value. How many shares do we have now? Or dollars worth? 265,000, right? We had 250. We just upped it 15. You guys agree? Then we've got additional paid-in capital on common stock of how much? It was 150. See there how it was 150? And then we increased it, additional paid in common stock. Additional paid in cap from stock dividend. Okay, so additional paid in capital common stock here was the 150, plus we added 150. Let me just do that. Then we added the additional paid in capital from stock dividend. And that was 30, right? But now our retained earnings went down, didn't they? So basically we shifted it from retained earnings. It's still the same amount sitting in there, but we took it out of retained earnings and it's now part of the stockholders' stock. Okay? So our retained earnings goes down to what? 155. But guys, that's weird. Our balance is the same as what it was. Why is our balance the same? We didn't pay out cash and we reduced our retained earnings, but we increased our stock. The balance is still the same in our stockholders' equity, right? We just took it out of retained earnings and increased our stock. Make sense? So if you had a question with a stock dividend, does your total stockholders' equity balance change? It doesn't, does it? Make sense? With a cash dividend, does it? It does.
Yeah, you see that.
Do you understand how that works? All we're doing here is we're taking stockholders' equity. They're both the same, they're accounts and stockholders' equity. We're just reducing retained earnings and increasing stockholders' equity. What are we doing when we do a cash dividend? Reducing retained earnings and reducing cash, right? I'm trying to help you understand the process, okay? So issuing more stock ultimately, gives the stockholders more, but it's really the same pot of money, the same pile here. Okay? Number 2. Assuming instead that a 40% stock dividend is recommended, answer A, B, and C of requirement 1. Darn it, not a 6%, now we got a 40% stock dividend. Guys, no need to worry. We're going to kind of do the same thing here. Okay? What's going to be different here? I'm just going to make this 40% instead of 6%, right? And how's that going to change our number here? 25,000 at 40% times 30 bucks a share. What's this number going to be now? What? 100,000. But if we take 100,000 and we divide it by $30 a share, how many shares is that? Oh, excuse me, 100,000. How many shares is that? How many shares is that, guys?
$10,000.
10,000 shares.
The 100,000 should actually be 300,000.
We take 25,000 times 40% times 10 bucks.
Times 30 is what you have up there.
Okay, I'm doing something wrong.
If it's over 25%, you're supposed to report it par value instead of fair market.
That's what's happening. So, because it's over 25% or 20?
25.
Because it's over 25%, and this is at 40%, we're no longer going to take it at the 30 bucks.